Well, it's a beautiful sunny day, and that sucks. This is not the kind of light I want for my photos. I don't understand. It's supposed to be partly cloudy. This looks like mostly sunny. Okay, all right, this is light we can live with. We're so far back up in the holler here that when the sun goes behind a cloud, things get pretty flat. So let's shoot it. So you may remember from videos past that I own and occasionally even use a Mamiya C330 twin lens reflex camera, but I'm always on the fence about selling it. And so I've decided to finally make a decision on that. And there's really only one reason I would keep it. Don't get me wrong, she's an absolutely lovely camera. Love shooting, so much fun to shoot with this camera. What's not fun is carrying the bitch, and what's even less fun is carrying the giant tripod that is really kind of required for shooting a camera this big. So I've brought it out to test it today. We're gonna start with this tree. Why even bother, Max? Don't you have other cameras? Yes, I do, and they're a lot smaller and lighter than this thing. However, they cannot accept longer lenses, and I have mounted on here the 135 f4.5, which I think might give me a lot of shallow depth of field to leverage in situations like this. There's the tree, right? But unfortunately, in front of the tree, we have another tree, and then behind the tree, there's some more trees. So how do we make this one tree stand out? Well, you use a long lens, and hopefully the foreground and background will be out of focus enough to sort of isolate the tree that we're looking at. Okay, we're set up here. We've got a pretty decent composition. We're just kind of waiting on the light. I always try to groom the scene before I shoot it because I don't want to come back here carrying all this stuff again. And so I've kind of matted down some of the brush there, and I have used a strap from another camera to pull this branch back. You always want to groom non-destructively. You know, you could just chop this stuff down, but that doesn't really keep with the spirit of what I'm doing out here. Okay, this shot is a lot of work. It's looking pretty good though. It's definitely not a grab shot. Done a lot of work to make this one happen. And I actually did end up breaking some of these branches accidentally, and now I feel like a horrible person. So in the past, I have actually taken 2 separate photos of this tree on 2 separate trips. This is my 3rd trip out here. The photos I took before were taken with my Zeiss Icon Netar and my Holga 120. Both of them sort of failed to isolate the tree from the background. So this is why this subject is such a good test for the Mamiya. Here we go. Here's what the shot looks like. Okay, I think we probably got a good shot of that tree, and I can cross it off my list. I don't see improving upon that, unless I come back when it's really foggy or something. Yeah, cross it off the ever-growing infinite list of trees I carry around in my head. So I took the Mamiya out in Bothy Woods and took some pictures there of trees I've photographed a million times before. That's a nice tree. That's pretty cool. See, it's all about them just chasing trees. That's what my whole job is. You'd think that would be an easy job, right? Like trees don't move, but it seems like the conditions are just never like I want them to be. I need like a little bit of like that Pacific Northwest pipe smoker weather. Tom, send some of that weather over here. Anyway, I took the Mamiya out into Bothy Woods, and I've got some news about Bothy Woods that's not good, but I'll save that for another time. And I'm going to show you those shots now. That's all I'm trying to say. Okay, so we're here at tree number 2. They call this the dragon tree. No idea why. The problem with the dragon tree is that there's no way to separate it from the background, and you got these stairs back there. So this would be an excellent case for keeping this camera if this lens will allow me to get a little bit of separation out here. We'll see. All right, so the sun has gone behind a cloud. We're here at the dragon tree, and the shot looks like this. I'm standing in a bunch of endangered plants, and here's our composition. right, I had a good shot, and then the sun went behind a cloud again. I know it seems contradictory because I was bitching earlier about the sun not being behind clouds, but in a situation like this, since I've got clouds in the background, I've got the sky in the background, I want the sun to be on the subject so it's evenly lit. So basically there's no consistency at all. See, we need a highlight right there to really help it stand out from the background. All right, we're not gonna get the sun, let's just shoot it. Oh yeah, see this? This is no good. See how it's canted on the tripod there? It's because the camera's heavy and the tripod's crappy. So in terms of just taking pictures of trees, I think this is gonna be a pretty damn good test. This is a target-rich environment. There's lots of cool trees. And I'm using the lightweight tripod now, so we'll see if we can see any difference in terms of sharpness, if there's more shake in these photos than there were on the other roll. And then after that, I've got a real test. All right, we got one more place to shoot, and it happens to be in one of my favorite fishing spots. Funny how that works out. All right, now we're playing a high stakes game. I have been admiring this tree for 4 years, actually more than that now, and I'm here to take a picture of it. We're gonna use the digital first, get our light ready, and then we'll go from there. All right, we're on frame 10. Let's see, that's 12 minus 10. Carry the 1. That's 2 or 3 frames left. I don't know. Anyway, this is what we're looking at here, and I think I'm gonna shoot it. Let's see if you can see better. There we go. I'm gonna shoot it 2 seconds at f/16. Oh, I lied. 2 seconds at f/22. All right, I ventured out a little bit closer, and I'm pretty nervous. But I kind of want to see what it would look like if we got like even closer, like right there. That's a bad idea, isn't it? Yeah, that's a bad idea. We got 1 frame left. Let's just shoot it. I have done smarter things. Of course, I've done stupider things too, so there's always that. Let's go fishing. Lord, I carry a lot of gear. Okay, here's the film, and well, every roll sealed with spit. That's how you know the photos are good. I mean, if they weren't, would I lick them? If you guys ever wanted to know how lazy I actually am, I'm driving 100 yards down to the next hole with my fishing rod held out the window because I didn't want to take it down. Okay, well that seals the deal on a good day. I'll see you guys back in the studio. We'll develop this film. You like how I say studio? It's just my kitchen sink. So, what have we learned? I've learned not to buy any more cameras because apparently I just can't get rid of them. This combo is currently worth like $600 or $700, and I could use that to buy a lot of groceries for my kid. But you can't get bokeh like that with groceries. I think a failing point of a lot of photographers is we fall in love with our gear, you know, and it becomes about the gear. Are you a rangefinder shooter? Are you an SLR shooter? Whatever. I don't want it to be like that. I mean, seriously, how do you reproduce a shot like that with anything other than a medium format brick cinder block on a stick is what it feels like shooting this camera. But man, it's so nice at the same time. This is a C330 Professional. See, I'm a Professional S, which was the last model that they made. And so it's, I won't call it a very recent camera, but it is more recent than any other camera of its type. Probably the last TLR ever made. And it is in primo condition, and the lens is gorgeous. And if I've learned anything about buying cameras on the internet, it just don't. And because they're all junk, they all break. And this has been my one, because I got this from a reputable dealer, not eBay. I got this from KEH.com, by the way. I can't say enough great stuff about KEH. The long story short is this camera works. If for no other reason than my most successful photos. I go blood, sweat, and tears for waterfall photos, right? I take a picture of a tree in the fog and everyone loses their minds. So this lens, this combination is awesome for shooting trees. which is something I never thought I'd say. It feels like the most boring thing ever. Oh, I like to shoot trees. But man, it makes really good photos of trees, and it captures these trees that I've been shooting for years and haven't been able to capture. I think we gotta keep her. And we didn't even mention that it has a sports finder. How cool is that? Thank you so much for coming along on my adventures with me and listening to my neurotic rambles about cameras. It really does mean a lot to me. I appreciate it. Stay safe, keep the ends out for the ties that bind.